This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Because at Blinds.com, the only thing we treat better than windows is you. Black Friday deals are going on all month long. Save up to 45% off site-wide plus an additional 10% off every order right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Coming up, a rare win for the Eagles in Bucharest. Some more crazy scores in the PWR with Eagles soaring high. Did the Eagles turn a corner this weekend, or are we just still staring into that abyss? Stick around to find out. This is the Mall Street Journal. Hello and welcome to the Mall Street Journal, the podcast that brings you all the latest news and reviews for all things American rugby. We are part of the Global Gainline Network and can be found on all your usual platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. So if you haven't already, give us a like or a subscribe, tell a couple of friends about us, or you know what? Send us a signed Wembanyama jersey, but signed by Alona Mar, so it'll be worth a lot more, and we would really appreciate that. Seriously, as always, every week, we're begging you. This is episode 19. I'm your host for today, David Lawrence, along with Kolya, coming to us from San Antonio. As always, how's everything going for you, Kolya?
Pretty good, other than the hell that is Spirit Week at the school.
Oh, what does that entail?
Dressing up as different things. So yesterday was Twin Day, and today was Career Day, and things like that. And it just causes craziness.
What did they dress up as for Career Day? Just like their parents?
Oh, some did that. There were a lot of random sports players. And then you had one who was Joe Biden.
Really?
And then you had a few RFKs. And then in San Antonio, you, of course, have a bunch of rodeo cowboys.
Wow. Wow, it sounds like y'all are kind of blurring the line between Career Day and Halloween.
Yes. Twin Day, two kids came in ghillie suits.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. The world of schools down there, it's different than my own experience for sure. Julia, of course, is not here with us this evening. She got called into a 23 squad for the Centennial State. It's possible she'll drop in later if she only goes, 40 or 50 minutes if they take her off to bring in the bomb squad. But then again, she might be the bomb squad, so still up in the air for that. We do always like to start with a question of the week. We have a kind of an odd one this week. We came up with, what amazing thing or top thing have you witnessed in the past week or so?
So I've got a few. So, and they're very, very different. So the first, in a slightly political mind, I'm ethnically Basque, so to go along with a bunch of other things that I'm ethnically mudded as. And I'm interested in things like when the Basque Country does something by itself. And a couple days ago, they played a soccer match with the Basque Country national team, which is not FIFA recognized. And they played the actually FIFA recognized state of Palestine
Really?
as a kind of fundraiser for helping out Gaza. And the stadium was packed with 50,000 people,
Wow.
and it just looked absolutely amazing.
Well, this might label me as incredibly ignorant. Is because Basque is not a country, it's like a region and it's an ethnicity. Is that
Yes,
true?
yes.
Is there a nation it's most associated with that still exists?
So it's split between Spain and France.
Okay.
So Charles Olivon, who finally got back for France this past week, is Basque. He's a former pelota player.
Oh.
Like he grew up playing with this.
Ha! That was
And
a very that was a unique ball that Kolya just shared with us on
yes,
screen. If you're
yes,
only listening to the audio
yes,
version, by the way.
yes. And like there is a Basque Country rugby union, the Euskadians, and there's a Basque Country sevens team. That one is based in France. And if someone could get me a jersey for the Basque Country sevens team, the Euskadi Sevens, I would be eternally grateful.
Well, I love the Basque flair at Toulon as well. It's obviously
Yes.
part of
Yeah.
the Pilu Pilu and part of the whole atmosphere.
Yeah. And then another thing that I witnessed is I love player celebrations.
Hmm.
Like whole team celebrations. I will watch trophy lifts. Like most people turn it off after the game ends, etc. I watch trophy lifts. And yesterday there were a ton of just crazy celebrations of countries, both rugby and soccer, making it to their respective World Cups.
Nice.
So in the repechage or in the rugby repechage, Samoa got in, and watching them
Barely.
celebrate was great. However, we should probably talk about in a little bit. And because it affected us last time, I think we can. The weirdness of the last two repechages ending with a draw.
Yeah. No,
So we
I
should
hate that.
probably talk about that.
The last time we got edged out because it was a two-match tie with a cumulative.
Yes.
That was the difference. This wasn't that. I don't like Belgium didn't play Samoa twice in a row, but it is
Yes.
very strange that the same tournament ended up with a draw, not satisfying for either side. This would have been the first time Samoa had ever not made a World Cup, except for the one they missed because they weren't invited, but that doesn't really
Yes.
count. But a big blow for Belgium and for Namibia, frankly.
Yes. Yes. Big, big blow for Namibia. I, I
They
think
didn't show
most
up in that
people
last
were
game.
expecting them to get there.
That was my guess, especially
Yeah.
after the performance Samoa put in against us. I was like, oh,
Yes.
they've only
Yes.
got 13 points in them, and guess what they
Yes.
ended the tournament with?
Yes. Yes.
13
And
points.
but I think Belgium should be happy
Yeah, except for
because
the opportunity missed.
yes, except for the opportunity missed, but getting that far, and they definitely improved since they played us.
Yeah, it was probably stuff around the coach and all that shakeup and everything else.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about them. We are here to talk about USA Rugby, but we're going to start off with news as we always do. Kolya, what do you got for us on the news desk this morning or this
So
this evening?
there's a ton this time. There's a
Hmm.
ton. So first off, the Sevens series, the SVNS series, has announced that New York is going to be the American host.
Yes, of course. When they say New York, they mean New Jersey, like all NFL
Yes,
teams.
yes, yes. So sorry to the people who are going to have to go to northern New Jersey. Just, I love you, New Jersey, but no, no, not for
I'm
me.
told it's a nice
Not for me.
stadium.
Yes, yes. I've driven past it a few times, but that will be in or March 14th and 15th of next year.
Yep. 2 weeks before my son's birthday. I don't think he's going to want to go though.
Yes. Then,
By the way, I do often wonder with American sports, they're like, well, if we say Anaheim, nobody's going to come, so we'll say LA, and they love to pick a big city name and put it next to a team.
yes.
And I often wonder then when people come from,
Yeah.
international athletes come and they're like, hey, I get to go to New York City. Wait a sec. Or they get to go to,
Yes.
what they think is going to be LA and they end up in, Cowtown,
Yeah.
Sacramento or something like that.
Dallas, like their sports stadiums are not in Dallas.
No. They are right next to the Six Flags though, which is nice.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I totally interrupted there.
Then there's also been a ton of player news in MLR finally.
Indeed.
So today, for your free jacks, Jason Potros has left.
Ugh,
That was today.
I didn't see
They've
that. Ugh,
the
hold on. I'm
free
gonna need a sec here.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh. I think he's retiring. He basically, I
Yes,
saw him
yes.
at the stadium right when he was coming back from an injury last season, and he was like, "Yeah, this might be it."
Yeah. Yeah. The Free Jacks have, however, announced the signing of, let me get this right, Ciro Kama at hooker
Oh, I hadn't seen that either.
and the signing of Ethan McVeigh
Hmm. And of course,
and
a few days ago, Mitch Wilson
and
was
Nate
announced.
Sylvia and
Oh,
Nate
that's good.
Sylvia. And
Yeah, and the
then
Iron Man is back. It got
yes,
us in trouble a little bit,
yes,
but probably worth it.
yes. Mitch Wilson is back to the Free Jacks from Anthem. Steph Hughes, former Welsh player Steph Hughes, has retired and joined the Old Glory coaching staff.
Oh, interesting.
LaRue
Old
Milan,
Glory is still vaguely affiliated with Scottish rugby in some way. There's some sort
yes,
of connection.
yes. Or
Never been
no,
made clear.
that's another news thing. The SRU has officially pulled out of Old Glory.
Really?
Yes, yes, that was this week.
Interesting.
But apparently, from what I've been told, it was such a tiny stake that it doesn't really matter.
They sent one canned haggis a year.
Yeah, yeah. LaRue Milan has left the Free Jacks to join the Sharks.
He has. He's in Durban right now. I just chatted
Yeah,
with him recently.
yeah. The Seawolves have signed Mark Bennett from Edinburgh,
Good signing.
and Peyton Talea Halio has moved from the former San Diego Legion to Anthem. And the Chicago Hounds made the biggest signing of the week, signing Ruben DeHaas.
Yes, I'm a little annoyed. Would have liked to have seen him come here. Chicago is making waves. They've been the most vocal. They've had the most posts. They've been tooting their own signings. I like what they're doing. It's making me a little nervous, to be honest.
Yes, yes. So far I am all in on Chicago for next year.
You mean that you think that they're going to win, or like you're now a Hound supporter?
I think they're going to win, and I might become a Hound supporter until some other team comes up down south.
Texas is a big state. There's plenty of
Yes,
room, right?
yes, yes. And then, lastly, on news, World Rugby has announced to some fanfare and a lot of belly aching, especially among the tier one people, the World Rugby Nations Championship and the World Rugby Nations Cup. The US is in the World Rugby Nations Cup, along with Canada, Chile, Georgia, Hong Kong, Portugal, Romania, Spain, Tonga, Uruguay, Zimbabwe, and Samoa.
I like that field. I want to watch every single team in that field.
Yes, same. However, what I'm hearing is that it might be done at neutral venues,
Mm.
which is weird.
It's my impression the sort of the tier one, you know, pool or, group is definitely happening in 2026, and it might be the next year for the next year. Are you hearing the same thing? Did I imagine that?
So the press release says that it's launching in July 2026.
Okay. I want to watch every one of those fixtures, and I think the USA our goal should be to win every single one of those. We're not going to. I think that should be our goal.
I agree.
It's going to be fun.
And it sounds like it's going to be set up with like the Pacific and the Americas together and then Europe together. So
Hmm.
I feel bad for Georgia if that's the case because they're just getting Rugby Europe Championship Part 2
Yeah.
when they want to be in the Six Nations themselves. And
By the way, when we talk about neutral venues, you're saying it's all going to be in Dubai.
it's going to be in Dubai or it might be in like the Rose Bowl.
I am more likely to go to that.
Yes.
I have nothing else on the news front. Was that the end of your desk?
Yes, that was the end for me.
Well, this might be. We've had some good news in the past, but this kind of felt the best. The USA men did, in fact, win a game this past weekend. We've gone 2 wins out of the last 7 fixtures we've played. That semi-surprising win against Samoa, and now against Romania, we led from start to stop. I saw some good things in this match. Kolya, what are your instant reactions from this contest over in Bucharest?
I liked what I saw. I liked the Luke Carty, Ruben de Haas axis,
Yes.
9-10 axis. I liked that a lot. Corey Daniel, I think, played his best match for the US.
Yeah.
We had a really, really good try line stand near the end of the
Yes.
match, which the defensive minded person in me just absolutely loved. There were, however, some problems, mainly with our discipline. We
Yep.
had 4 yellow cards, which is ridiculous.
I honestly thought it was 3. I'm just now thinking back. That's not good.
Yeah, yeah. The
That's a
the fourth
half.
the fourth
Here's
one,
40 minutes. Here you
yeah,
go.
yeah. The fourth one was the penalty try at the end.
Oh, right. So that'll be
So it
enforced. God
didn't
knows when.
actually affect anything.
Right.
But it a penalty try is an automatic yellow card.
Yep.
So there were 3 during play and then that one at the end.
We have had some good defense. We've also, as we've discussed here, we've been the wet paper towel or the wet piece of tissue paper against
Yes.
Scotland. But some of our defensive stands on the goal line against Samoa, and then again this weekend, like you said,
Yes.
ferocious stuff. I like that.
Yes. And it makes me wonder just why aren't we consistent?
Right.
Like we play Belgium well and then we're garbage the rest of the summer. We are awful in the Pacific Nations Cup, losing to Canada when a win would have booked a World Cup place early.
Yeah.
And it's not like Canada's doing great right now. Like they just got crushed
They
by
were so
Georgia
down then. I don't know how
worse than we were.
Yeah, maybe that was them digging that out. Maybe that was like that last
Yeah.
bit of Canadian spirit before this long,
Yes.
desolate period they're facing right now. But
Yeah.
we had to win that.
Yes. And then pulling out a really good game against Samoa. And then we have whatever that was it with Scotland, followed by a really up and down performance with Georgia. And then
Not, and again, I think we all agree we didn't. It's not that we were gonna win that game, but we definitely gave it away. It's
yes,
not that it's not that if we hadn't given it away, we were definitely gonna win. Probably not, but we would have had a shot, and we did the unacceptable.
yes. And then we had and then we had this last match against Romania where our defense played really well for large for large passages of that game.
Yeah,
And I don't get it. Like it speaks to coaching.
it has to, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. You were kind of, first on the bandwagon of Scott Lawrence has got to go after the Scotland debacle. And we asked the question last week, regardless of the result in Bucharest, are we still saying that's it? Where do you stand now? Do you think it's sinking in? Do you think our players are buying in, or do you think that ship has already sailed?
I like with a team like the US, if we want to see progress, we need us all firing on all cylinders consistently, and we're
Mm,
not doing that under Lawrence. Again, every 3 games pulling out a decent performance is not good enough.
right.
When like it, it's entirely possible for the US to get a coaching staff that we might not get close to beating a Scotland, but we shouldn't be shipping 80 points and not knowing how to run basic defensive moves.
Yeah. I don't think I think I'll spend the rest of my life wondering what happened in that match. It's
Yes,
just
yes,
and I've talked to plenty of Scottish people and fans after this. They also were like, "What was that? We didn't learn anything. You didn't learn anything. Can we
yes,
just?
yes,
It was a waste of time unless we just do it over."
yes. And then a couple other things from this match. Like it was like there were some really great things. Luke Carty is really, really growing into that 10 shirt, and he should
Yes.
be it unless we want to give it back to AJ, but it should definitely be Carty as the second one.
Hmm. I kind of want AJ in camp just to have an
Yes.
arm around
Yes.
Luke.
Yes. Yes. But he's definitely growing, and hopefully he's able to continue growing at Anthem now that he's signed there. And hopefully he leads Anthem to actually maybe win a match.
A win. It's
Yes.
got. I mean,
A win.
the word is that the schedule is going to be 10 games this year, so that kind of makes it harder for them.
Yes.
But on the other
Yeah.
hand, yeah,
Yes. Yes. But there were, or while it was positive, and there were still some problems. The discipline was lacking, as we already mentioned, and our line out is still absolutely atrocious.
Uh,
Their first points came from a 5 meter attacking lineout from the US.
oh yeah,
Their first points came from a 5 meter attacking lineout for the US that I called that we were going to go long to my wife before we did it. And somehow the US call didn't have anyone long.
that's true. It was to the green. It was to the grass.
I I I don't get it. I do not get it. And then like I don't want to call out any specific players, but there are a couple of players in our pack who are not international standard.
Yeah.
And one thing I am now after this match absolutely terrified for the rest of this Paramount Plus deal with World Rugby. Because like there are some positives with this commentator. There are some positive with this commentator. I can't remember the guy's name, but there are some positives. He clearly really enjoys the game,
Hmm.
but he also has no idea what he's talking about.
It's rough.
He has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, and I feel so bad for the people who are watching the feed through Rugby Pass in Europe or
Yeah.
elsewhere because
Doesn't make
Oh
us look good.
boy, he had no idea what he was talking about. And
This is a consistent problem with our broadcasts where we
yes,
Americans seem to think, well, if we want the most professional version, we give it to the people who are the most professional, but those aren't rugby people. And it's not going well.
yeah, yeah. And again, the guy clearly likes the game. Like he mentioned it many, many times, but he also mentioned that he's never played the sport before
Yep.
and has only started watching over the last few years. Like it's great that he's come to the sport and loves it, but he needs someone with him to help explain things.
Yeah.
And if I heard him say Sam Grove White again, I was going to tear out my ears every single time.
To be fair, there were more frustrating commentators this weekend if you were watching, all the international stuff.
Yes, yes,
So you're a coach, though. You've played and you're a coach.
yeah.
When there's a team with discipline issues, when your team gives away 4 yellow cards, everyone says, "Oh, discipline, team issue." When is that players having a bad day or losing it, and when is it you? If your team this coming weekend gave away 4 yellow cards, would you say, "Wow, that was on me. I'm not
Yes,
doing this
yes.
right"?
I would say that that is on me.
Yeah.
That is on me. Unless it is against a team that is just so ridiculously better than me or
Mm.
than my team.
Because then it would
Because
just be frustration.
then it's either frustration or like their pack is destroying us and there's no way around giving away a bunch of yellow cards. Like a few years ago, I was reffing a women's match between the San Antonio team and or one of the San Antonio women's teams and the women's team up in Round Rock north of Austin. And there was such a disparity between the two packs that like every single scrum was a penalty.
Mm.
Like within a second of calling set, there was a penalty given. And that just happens sometimes.
I'm curious. This is totally off script, but I'm fascinated by the sort of coaching rabbit hole. In the last 2 weekends, the number one team in the world, the Springboks, gave away red cards really early on. They're playing with 14 players, win both games pretty handily. It almost seems like they're just giving themselves a degree of difficulty just to make it more fun for them.
Oh,
They might want to go down to 12 players against Wales in a couple of weeks.
yeah,
If you're the coach and you give away 4 yellow cards, but you win, is your attitude different?
it is, but it's still we gave away 4 yellow cards, and that is not what you want to do.
Mm.
That is there is something going wrong that needs to be fixed. And if it's just 4 yellow cards from players making a poor option and trying to get an intercept and only going with one hand,
Mm.
that's different than giving away a bunch of scrum penalties or what we did, giving away a bunch of offside penalties.
Yeah.
Because that says that either the fitness is problematic or there's something going on with the defensive set.
So a thing I see with Rassi Erasmus coached teams, and you watch football. You probably
Yeah.
remember when Seattle, they were the Legion of Boom, and their whole
Mm.
thing was we're all committing penalties on every single play, and
Yeah.
we're gonna leave it. We're gonna put the onus on the referee to call everything because they're not gonna
Mhm.
call everything,
Yes.
and there's penalty fatigue where the refs stop wanting to call things. I feel
Yes.
like Rassie's teams play on that edge, and when they give away a card, it's like, yeah, that's because we were trying everything we possibly can at every ruck and every breakdown, and it kind of works for them.
Yes. Yes. And one of the things that Razzie does really, really well is he clearly looks up the referee beforehand,
Oh yes.
and I'm sure does film study of the referee, because as we've talked about before on here, or if you're a referee, there are certain things you're going to call, and there are certain things that you're not. There are certain referees who want a game that looks a certain way, and they're going to call it to get that certain way.
Yeah,
And then
he
there
already
are,
feels like one of them.
yeah, and then there are referees who are real sticklers for certain penalties and not others.
Yep. You can sometimes tell what the conversation was just before a match too.
Yes, yes,
The last points of emphasis they were given.
yes.
So the things I liked against Romania, first of all, as I said, like we led from the beginning to the end, which I don't think we've done in the last seven fixtures, I think, even the couple we've won. But not only that, we had confidence to go for the points. We weren't always saying, "Oh, geez, we're going to need it, so we got to go to the corner." The fact that we seem to have settled into a place where we're like, "Yeah, yeah, you know what makes sense right now? Build the
Mhm.
lead, add three. Don't go for the riskier thing. Don't always go for the corner." We seem to be willing to build that lead over time. I think that a lot of that is Luke
Yes.
Carty. I love what I'm seeing from him. Does that speak to a maturity of our attack? Do you think that is genuine progress for the men's Eagles?
I do think it's progress. I hate saying it, but I think that playoff match between Chicago and New England might have ruined Hilsenbeck,
Hmm.
where he doinked the winning kick at the very, very end. He hasn't looked right kicking since.
That was that was pretty big. I was there.
Yeah,
It's the kind of kick you can't make twice either. That will
yeah,
never happen to him again.
yeah,
Thank God.
yeah,
But I do like that. And this has become the Dom Bisag show. Love what I've seen from him. I'm seeing
I,
green shoots. I think
yeah,
Luke
yeah.
Hardy
I
is a genuine kind of heir apparent for AJ, and I feel good
yes,
about that.
yeah. I actually felt that BSAG had a quiet game to his standard,
Yeah,
which which is natural when he's 20.
right.
You're not going to play to your best every match.
Just imagine next year his teammates will be able to buy him a beer. Imagine.
Yes, yes. Yeah, he must have loved this trip.
That's right. Me and my friends definitely made the drive up to Montreal when we turned 18. It's like, aha, I know where we can go.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts on USA versus Romania? It was fun. It was a good feeling, and I haven't felt like, yay, after a match in a while.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like gotta hand it to Romania. They put their stadium in a beautiful place.
Yeah,
Like that the environment shots before the match looked really cool.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah. And yeah, it was fun. We tried out some things. We looked awake on attack. We looked like we were having fun, which is something we haven't seen in a bit.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. There were smiles on the faces. Um, is Toby Fricker our nailed on fullback now? I know we've talked. It's not his preferred position. I think he would, if he was on the show right now, he would tell us the same thing. But is he the USA's most reliable fullback?
Of ones that we've played, yes. I still want to see Schumacher get a chance.
Yeah. Where does he stack up in height wise with Toby? Because obviously, like they say in the NBA, you can't teach height.
Let me see. Sorry for, let's see. Schumacher is 5'10".
Nah, I think Toby's probably 6'3", 6'4". I don't know what he's listed at. It's probably in meters, so we have to translate.
Yeah. Uh,
Let's see, 1.9 meters, I'll say.
let's see. 6'1".
Oh, 6'1". Okay, I thought he was taller than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a
He does
difference,
seem
but
committed. I feel like I feel like Toby's part of this squad now. I don't know why
yes.
I'm calling him Toby as if we're super buddies, but I feel like he's found his way into the squad, and I feel like he likes it here. I want players that want to be here, and I think we're maybe getting down to that.
Yeah, and I like he's clearly a natural wing, but he hasn't played well when he's been on the wing.
Right.
So fullback might be the place for him.
Yeah. I I think clearly Scott Lawrence is not interested in having Mitch back there. He was the only bench player that did not get a sniff in this past game. He sat on the bench the whole time.
Mhm.
So before we move on, I just want to take a moment to remind all of you that liking and subscribing is the best way to help us grow. If you could tell a friend or two, that would be smashing. We are part of the Global Gainline Network. We're incredibly grateful for your ongoing support. We're growing steadily on YouTube. Man, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. We're just about at 1,200 now, which is surpassed our goals already, and so we're just so happy about that. We're your one-stop shop for all things rugby. We've got Irish content, South African content, obviously American content. We've got the Women's Treehouse, which of course I feel like multiple pods are now actively saying, "Where are you? Come on back, come on back." So maybe this will bring them out of their shell. Of course, we've got the URC Rewind, just so much more. Do yourself a favor, check it all out. Help us spread the word. We really do appreciate all of you. Meanwhile, over in England, if you want to talk about Eagles, that's where the rest of our Eagles were in the PWR. It was a great weekend again in the PWR. What happened this weekend? Well, it was whew, a smashdown. The Saracens at home at the Stone X destroyed Leicester Tigers 79-5, an almost Scottish level smashing. Gloucester Harper, they continued their unbeaten winning ways for God knows how long. They beat the Sale Sharks, the social media Sale Sharks, who are great and have tons of Americans, but it didn't work out. 40-24 this time. 45-19 was the Trailfinders' victory over Bristol Bears, another team with lots of so a couple of interesting Americans, but great signings. They signed Ruhe Demont this week. I think she's probably still packing her bags. She was not part of this match. And then, of course, Exeter Chiefs pulled one out against Harlequins 26-19, possibly the most exciting one of the round. Kolya, without Julia this weekend, did you catch any of these matches? And did you see any highlights from our Eagles?
Yeah. So I watched the Gloucester Hartpury match, and that one was fun in the first half, and then it got out of hand,
Yeah, as is the Gloucester way.
as is the Gloucester way. Uh, but didn't really see much from our Eagles in that match,
Right.
at least that I can remember. Julia, come
Let's
back.
I'm looking through the box scores now because Sale is one of the teams that has a bunch of USA Eagles. I'm trying to find anyone on the score sheet. Not seeing anybody that quickly. If you had an Eagle MVP in the PWR, it's only been what is it, 5 rounds or so. Who has really stood out for you? By the way, Nia Tolliver, not in the PWR. She's over in France. That is a competition I'm increasingly really wanting to see because we've got Eagles there and they're tearing it up
Yes.
and they play
Yes.
all the time.
Yes. 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 For PWR, probably Lev.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying watching her.
She's in my top 3 list of all-time players,
Yeah.
just anywhere ever.
Mhm.
So, by the way, we've talked about it here on the show. all the changes that are unfolding in the MLR, one of the big ones has been the reclassification of Canadian players as foreign players, along with the restriction on the number of foreign contracts you can have in the first place. It was kind of a double whammy for Canada. Just heard today that the PWR are considering something very similar, where they're considering restricting the number of international players, which would really impact the number of Eagles we've got over there, and try
Yep.
to make it a more English game. It feels like the exact same arguments are unfolding over there. I'm really bummed about that, maybe because it more directly affects me. I feel bad for the Canadian players, especially in MLR, but like the USA Eagles impact starting next year, possibly. Have you heard anything about this?
Yeah, I've heard about it. It seems like it's going in, but what's going to happen? I don't know. Hopefully on the PWR side, if they do move to this, WER picks up the slack a bit.
Mm.
And
Well, they can't do that with contracts.
no, no. Or the Eagles move to the top 14, as you were
Mm.
mentioning.
So, are you and I both offering our couches for the WER next year? I've definitely got a spare room.
Mhm,
As many banshees as can fit in there. I'm fine.
mhm. Yeah, I want another WER team.
Yeah. Rugby's pretty big in Texas compared to a lot of places too. It must be really
Yes.
frustrating right now that there's no
Yes.
there's no Austin, there's no Houston, there's no Dallas. Like,
Yes.
damn.
There's no San Antonio.
There's never been a San Antonio.
Yes.
I heard a couple of years ago, I was told by somebody I generally believe that it is a certainty that MLR is going to expand into Mexico. Have you heard anything like that?
I heard that a while ago, but I haven't heard anything since. It would
Mm.
be fun as there's a few a few of the Mexican players play in the Texas or play in Texas. So men's D1 level.
Yeah. If if rugby existed in Monterey, how long is that drive for you? How tempted would you be?
I would definitely go to a few matches.
How long would it take you to get there?
Oh, let's see. Oh, sorry. It would take me about 6 hours.
Okay.
So not bad.
Not easy. If you were a
Yeah.
UK person, then it would be
Yeah.
completely undoable, as we
Yes.
covered
Yes.
last week.
Yes. Yes. Not too bad.
Well, it is too bad that we don't have Julia here to fill us in on all the extra details about the PWR. I'm loving this competition. I watch as much as I can. We bemoan it every week. I wish they could do a better job of making it accessible, of making it easier to find. I don't like searching for my stuff. I do it anyway, but come on, obviously we're in a position that we're trying to grow the game, and when there's impediments, it's always just an extra frustration.
Yes.
I think neither of us really came up with any grassroots. Do you have anything at all before we kind of call a full lid?
I know that the Chicago Hounds development team played the Midwestern Elite recently
Oh,
and won, but that's all I've seen.
interesting. There's been some really late in the season college championships happening and stuff. I don't know if that again, that's not really grassroots. That's
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
is it? It's hard to define here, I suppose.
It
But
is.
I did get to go. We were chatting offline. I got to go to, as they call it, the Mint, Free Jacks HQ. Got to say hi to Tom Kindly. He was able to give me one of these lovely jerseys from this summer when our junior jacks went to Wales and had uh, a learning experience over in Wales. So that was fun. But it was nice seeing things kicking into gear there. TK is such a serious and such a dedicated person, and you just feel it when you walk into the building. I know MLR is struggling right now. A lot of people are even doubting the fact that the season's going to happen, but I can tell you it is. All the things are in motion right now. Guys like
No.
TK, Mags, the Free Jacks are ready for it. What I'm also hearing is people are thinking this is the Chicago Hounds year. Free Jacks fans are like, hey, man, there's fewer teams for us to beat this year. That's an easy four-peat. I don't know about that. I feel like Chicago is, I mean, more things will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, but this could be a tough competition. It could be like we've been talking about the talent. If you take whatever, 12 teams and boil them down to six with the same amount of talent, those are harder teams to beat, right? This could be a really compelling MLR season.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to it, or is it even on your calendar? Or are you just saying, yeah, when
Yeah,
they tell
yeah,
me it's happening, I'll believe it?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. And or but before that, we do have collegiate rugby coming up in December, the women's championships and the men's championships.
Yes.
And
Do you have is it in front of you? Do you have the teams that we're going to be looking at? I feel like the Harvard
so
women are always right there.
so I don't have it in front of me. I I think the semifinals for most still have to be played.
It feels late in the year for this too, but there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but the championships aren't until December. Okay, so let's see. See.
There was
Yeah,
actually,
the
I know, as
getting
you
the
know,
schedule is
I,
difficult.
I've been kind of dabbling in doing comms. Dabbling. I got one gig so far. It looked like I might have had this one, another one coming up this weekend, but at the last minute they changed from we're going to do it remotely to no, 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 we have to be there in person, which I think led to them not having comms or a broadcast. So a little
Yeah.
bummed about that. I'm still hoping to get
Okay.
in there, but a lot of college stuff kind of wrapping up right now, and I'd love to
Yeah.
be a part of
So
it.
so so I have the women's D1 national championship is going to be between Wheeling and Southern Nazarene. That'll be on December 6th.
Wow.
And and for D1 double A, also on December 6th, that is going to be between Northeastern and Colorado.
Oh,
The men are still in the semifinal stage.
interesting. Northeastern. My partner
Yes.
just got a graduate degree from Northeastern, so I guess I have to be pulling for them. Wow. What do you
Mhm.
know? A dog in the fight.
Yeah.
Kolya, as always, this has been fantastic. I love being able to share your insights. It's nice to have a nice USA win to be able to look back on and say,
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
and like I said, stem to stern, we led the whole way. It was in recent memory, it's the first time I felt like we got this from kickoff until the final whistle. What about you?
Yeah, I never felt like it was in doubt. I felt like there were times when we were not doing what we should have, but I never
Mm,
felt like it was in doubt. And that was nice with how Romania played the week before against Canada and beat Canada
yeah.
when we weren't able to do that.
If you were sort of part of USA Rugby at like a more executive level, would you be looking at these past, at least the last three? Would you say, yes, I see what our attack is trying to do. Yes, I see what our defense is trying to do. Do you see Scott Lawrence's game plan, and do you see us working towards it in a coherent way?
Unfortunately, no. I see some things in attack, but in defense, no.
What needs to change? Like defense is 90% attitude, people always say. Is that the coach's job to turn around that attitude, or is it an X and O thing? Can we get Joe Schmidt in here to fix
Yeah,
it, or do we need
I
somebody to
think it's a
inspire?
mix of both.
Yeah.
Having someone who has actually coached a defense that hasn't given up the most points in a league would be nice, as we discussed last time.
Interesting selection, that one. Well, one guarantee for next week is the USA men will not have lost because they're going to take a well-deserved rest. And who knows? So where, by the way, BSOG, like I said, this has become the BSOG show. Where is he going to be playing in a couple months? Is he, I don't even know if he's contracted with an MLR team.
No, I think he's still got a year of college left.
Damn, that's crazy. So if you're listening, Dom, the Free Jacks are a great organization. Can I just tell you from top to Okay, my friends, thank you
It'll
all for
be
coming
Anthem.
along as always. It will be Anthem, of course. And you know what? Then they can start winning, so that'll be good for everybody.
Yes.
So to all of you out there listening and watching, thank you so much for supporting us. It's been great. This is 19 weeks and we're already way above where we wanted to be. It's so much fun. Hopefully Julie will be back next week. She got nailed by work this week and probably wasn't in the pack. So hopefully we'll have her back next week. It's always fun. There'll be great PWR talk. And also WXV is going to be coming back soon. It's a little soon to be talking about Six Nations stuff well, anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Kolya, thank you so much. We'll talk to you all soon. Thank you for joining the Wall Street Journal. Cheers. Talk to you all soon. And be well.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lowe's early Black Friday deals are going fast. Don't miss up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. And with Christmas around the corner, you're going to need more string lights, right? Save $4 on GE LED 100-count string lights, now just $5.98. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.